Do you want your miniatures to look like this? Well, your journey doesn't actually start with the first brushstroke. Nope, it starts way earlier. My Imperial Fist? They have seen it all. But every epic army needs an epic leader, right? So Captain Lysander is stepping up. GW did an amazing sculpt, packed with detail. If this is the first time you open in a GW miniature, let me show you what you will get in the box. First, you will get an assembly manual, which has the instructions on how to put the model together. Then you will have the sprue with the different pieces, and you can see how packed with detail they are. They are fantastic. I love Imperial Fist. They are the best faction. And then finally, you will get the base to put the miniature, and then with the box, what we do, we throw it away. But before any paint touches this hero, you want to make sure he's assembled seamlessly, because if your leader isn't perfect, how it can inspire your troops? Your first foe isn't some big bad, it's the humble mold line. Those tiny ridges will mess up your paint job if you don't deal with them. And for dealing with them, you want a mold remover or a hobby knife. And what you're going to do, it's actually gently scrape. And let me show you here how I do. I grab my tool right now, and very gently I'm going to be scraping that tiny mold line that will mess up your paint. You're not carving any model, you are gently removing those ridges that if you paint over them, they are going to be seen and they are going to be very annoying. And you just are going to fill it with your finger. The next thing is I prepare my glue, and for this case, since it is plastic, I use the plastic cement from Tamiya, which is the best glue for these models. I remove another piece that I'm going to put together, and in this case I realized that instead using my scrapping mold remover tool, I'm going to use the file because I have a tiny nib that I need to flatten out, and for doing so I'm just file away in one direction. For the glue, it's very important to less is more, so I just drop a tiny drop there and just press together until it sticks and melts together. If you put too much glue, you're going to have the usual white, it's going to run over, you're going to have imperfections, and we don't want that. And these are the basics to put together models. So what we're going to do now is rinse and repeat. Patience is key here. A few extra minutes will save you hours of paint job frustration later. So just to make sure that you file everything very carefully, that touch with your finger, make sure that you feel that everything works. And here also I'm showcasing that in case you don't have the mold remover tool, you can use a hobby knife. Try to go away from yourself. Don't try to go towards you because you might cut yourself, and I cut myself multiple times. But just to make sure that you put the file, sand, and then put the things together with the glue. Heads. Now this is a tricky one. The heads are tiny and I prefer to paint them separately. So I put them in a blue tack and in a soda cap, just there. And very gently, I will try to take away the mold lines that usually are in the lines. And once I did that, rinse and repeat. Let's continue removing pieces. Let's remove sanding. Let's continue removing those pesky mold lines until we have a perfect miniature. Now that I have all the pieces together, I just use blue tack for the shell because I don't want to paint with it together. I want to be able to separate it. And here comes the piece of resistance, the secret that I use the most. Tiny bit of acetone just to remove those scratch marks that we did when we were removing those small lines. Yes, it will melt away the plastic so fast, so you need to be very gentle. Just barely touching with a tiny bit of acetone, it will remove those details, that scratches that we did, and make everything flat and fantastic. And very gently, we just remove those things away with the cotton. Once you're satisfied, you do the same with the head, and as you can see, very gently I tap in just to remove in the sides, that's where the lines is, because You want the head to be perfect. This is your leader. And once you did that, here you have a leader that is ready to conquer the field, lead your troops, and hit that subscribe button.